The Instagram notification changed everything. It was 2 in the morning. I couldn't sleep. I was too worried about Jessica's upcoming chemotherapy appointment, her 4th round in 6 months. She was asleep next to me, my dying girlfriend, the love of my life, the woman I'd spent the last 18 months caring for, supporting, emptying my savings account to save. I was scrolling through Instagram, just mindlessly looking at nothing, when I saw it. A photo, posted by someone I didn't recognize, but the location tag caught my eye. Cabo San Lucas, 2 days ago. And there, in the background of this stranger's vacation photo, was Jessica, my Jessica, who was supposed to be too weak to leave the apartment, who had told me she was resting at her mother's house for the weekend because she needed space to prepare mentally for chemo. Except she wasn't at her mother's house. She was in Mexico, at a resort, in a bikini, with a full head of hair, and standing next to her, his arm around her waist, cocktail in hand, was Tyler, my best friend since middle school. I stared at that photo for 20 minutes, zoomed in, zoomed out, convinced myself it couldn't be her. It had to be someone who looked like her. But it was her. I knew her body, her smile, the way she tilted her head. That was Jessica, healthy, happy, on vacation with my best friend, while I was at home worried sick about her cancer treatment. I got up from bed quietly, went to the bathroom, locked the door, and I started digging. Let me take you back to where this all started, 2 years ago, when I met the woman who would destroy my life. I was 31, software developer, good job, decent apartment, stable life, but lonely. I'd been single for almost 3 years after a bad breakup, and I'd kind of given up on dating. Then I matched with Jessica on Hinge. She was 28, worked as a freelance graphic designer. Beautiful, in that natural, effortless way. Great sense of humor.
We talked for hours that first night. Our first date was coffee, our second was dinner. By the third date, I knew I was falling for her. She was warm, attentive. She remembered everything I told her. She made me feel seen in a way no one had before. We were official within a month. She was practically living at my place within 2, and I introduced her to Tyler. Tyler had been my best friend since 7th grade. We'd been through everything together. High school, college, his divorce, my career struggles. He was the brother I never had. He and Jessica hit it off immediately. "She's great, man," Tyler told me after that first meeting. "You really found a good one." I thought that was a good thing. 6 months into the relationship, Jessica started feeling sick. Fatigue at first. She was tired all the time, couldn't get through the day without napping. Then the stomach pain started. Cramping, nausea. She lost her appetite. I urged her to see a doctor. She kept putting it off. It's probably nothing, just stress, but it wasn't nothing. Or so she told me. One evening, I came home from work and found her crying on the couch. "I went to the doctor today," she said. "They found something. They're running more tests, but they think it might be ovarian cancer." My world stopped. Cancer. The word felt like a physical blow. "We don't know for sure yet," she said through tears, "but the doctor said it doesn't look good. I might need surgery, chemotherapy. It could be bad." I held her all night. I promised her I'd be there, that we'd fight this together, that she wasn't going to face this alone. I meant every word.
The next few weeks were a blur of doctor's appointments, or so I thought. Jessica would go to appointments during the day while I was at work. She'd come home with printouts of test results, prescription bottles, pamphlets about treatment options. The diagnosis was confirmed. Stage 2 ovarian cancer. Caught early enough to treat, but aggressive enough to require immediate action. She needed surgery to remove the tumor, then 6 months of chemotherapy. The costs were astronomical. Jessica's freelance work didn't come with health insurance. She'd let her COBRA coverage lapse after leaving her last full-time job. She was uninsured. The surgery alone would cost $40,000. The chemo, another $60,000, plus medications, plus follow-up care. We didn't have that kind of money.
So I started liquidating my savings account. $12,000. Gone. My 401k, I took a hardship withdrawal. $15,000 after penalties. Gone. I sold my car. Got $8,000 for it. Started taking the bus to work. But it wasn't enough. That's when Tyler suggested the GoFundMe. People do this all the time, he said. Medical crowdfunding. You tell your story, people donate. It adds up fast. I was hesitant. I'd never been good at asking for help. But Jessica was dying. Pride seemed irrelevant. So Tyler helped me set it up. He wrote the description. He shared it everywhere. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. He even talked about it at his office. Got his coworkers to contribute. The campaign raised $47,000 in 6 weeks. $47,000 from friends, family, coworkers, and strangers. All of it going directly to Jessica, into an account she controlled, because she said she'd found a medical billing advocate who could negotiate better rates if she paid directly.
I didn't question it. Why would I? She was dying. I trusted her completely. The treatment started. Jessica would go to chemotherapy sessions twice a week. I wanted to go with her, but she said it was too hard for her to have me there. Too emotional. She needed to focus on staying strong. I respected her wishes. Instead, I'd pick her up afterward. She'd be exhausted, nauseous. Sometimes she'd vomit in the car on the way home. I'd hold her hair back, rub her back, tell her she was brave. Then her hair started falling out. I came home one day and found her sitting in the bathroom, clumps of hair in her hands, crying. "It's starting," she whispered. "The chemo was working, but my hair." A week later, she shaved her head completely, said it was easier than watching it fall out piece by piece. I told her she was beautiful, and I meant it. She was beautiful to me no matter what. I bought her wigs, headscarves, comfortable clothes, anything to make her feel better. I cooked all her meals, researched anti-nausea foods, spent hours reading about nutrition for cancer patients. I became her full-time caregiver. My work suffered. I used all my sick days, then started using vacation days. I nearly got fired twice for missing deadlines. But Jessica was dying. Nothing else mattered. And through all of it, Tyler was there. He'd come over to help when I was overwhelmed. He'd bring groceries, pick up prescriptions, sit with Jessica when I had to go to work. "She's like family," he said. "Your girlfriend is my responsibility too." I thought he was being a good friend. I didn't know he was sleeping with her. That night in the bathroom, after seeing the Instagram photo, I went into detective mode. First, I checked Jessica's phone. She'd given me her passcode months ago in case of emergency. I'd never used it before. Her text messages with Tyler went back 18 months. The same 18 months she'd been sick. They'd been together the entire time, since before the cancer diagnosis, maybe even before she and I became official. The texts were explicit, romantic, planning, scheming. "He's such an idiot," she wrote to Tyler 6 months ago. "He actually believes the chemo makes me this tired. I just don't want to deal with him." Tyler replied, "Just a few more months. Once the GoFundMe money runs out, you can go into remission, and we'll figure out the exit strategy." Exit strategy? They were planning to take the money and leave together, and I was just a mark, a source of income, a sucker to be exploited. I kept reading.
The cancer was fake. All of it. She'd never had a tumor, never had surgery, never had chemotherapy. The chemotherapy appointments were spa days, shopping trips, hotel meetups with Tyler. The prescriptions were fake, empty bottles she'd collected from various sources. The hair, she'd shaved it herself as part of the con. The nausea, the weakness, the exhaustion, acting, pure performance. Every single thing had been a lie. I found receipts, bank statements she'd tried to hide, designer handbags, jewelry, first-class flights, luxury hotel stays. The $47,000 from GoFundMe? Gone. Spent on a lifestyle I never saw. A life she was living with Tyler while I was at home, worried about her treatment. I found photos on her phone she'd hidden in a password-protected folder. Her with full hair, dressed up, at restaurants and beaches and clubs. With Tyler, laughing, kissing, living, while I thought she was dying.
I sat on that bathroom floor until dawn, going through everything, documenting everything, screenshots, downloads, evidence. I didn't wake her up. I didn't confront her. Not yet. I needed to be smart about this. The next morning, I called in sick to work. Waited until Jessica left for her doctor's appointment. Then I started making calls. First, I called the cancer center she'd supposedly been treated at. I'm calling to verify treatment records for a patient. Jessica Marlowe. Date of birth? The receptionist checked their system. I'm sorry, sir. We don't have any patient by that name in our records. No records. Because she'd never been there. I called 3 other oncology clinics in the area. Same result. No Jessica Marlowe. No treatment history. Nothing. I called her medical billing advocate. The number went to a generic voicemail. The company didn't exist. I checked. No business registration, no website, no LinkedIn. It was all fake. Every single piece of it. I printed everything. Screenshots, bank statements, text messages, the Instagram photo, records of my calls to the clinics. Then I called a lawyer. The lawyer's name was Rebecca Chen. She specialized in fraud cases. I sat in her office for 2 hours, laying out everything I'd found. This is textbook fraud, she said. Theft by deception. She created a false pretense to obtain money from you and from the GoFundMe donors. That's a felony. What can I do? You can file a police report. The DA may choose to press charges. You can also sue her civilly for damages, and the GoFundMe donors may have their own claims. She paused. But I have to warn you, cases like this are complicated. She probably doesn't have the money anymore. You might win a judgment you can never collect. I don't care about the money, I said. I want people to know what she did. Rebecca nodded. Then let's build a case. I confronted Jessica 3 days later. I'd spent those 3 days pretending everything was normal, playing the worried boyfriend, while secretly coordinating with my lawyer and preparing my evidence. That evening, I asked her to sit down, told her we needed to talk about something important. She looked concerned. What's wrong? Is it about my treatment? I pulled out my laptop, opened the Instagram photo. I found this, I said. Cabo San Lucas, 2 days ago, while you were supposedly at your mother's house. Her face went white. That's not what it looks like, she stammered. Really? Because it looks like you, in a bikini, with a full head of hair, standing next to Tyler. I showed her the screenshots.
The text messages, the bank statements, the receipts. I called the cancer center, I said. They've never heard of you. I called every oncology clinic in the city. None of them have treated you. Your medical billing advocate doesn't exist. She started crying. Please, let me explain. I interrupted. 18 months. 18 months you've been lying to me. Faking cancer, stealing my money, stealing from everyone who donated to help you, and sleeping with my best friend the entire time. She didn't deny it. She couldn't. The tears stopped. Something hardened in her expression. What are you going to do? Her voice was different now, colder. The mask was off. I already did it, I said. I filed a police report. My lawyer contacted GoFundMe, and I've notified everyone who donated about what you did. Her face twisted with rage. You have no idea what you've done. I know exactly what I've done. I told the truth. She was gone within the hour, packed a bag, and left. Didn't say goodbye, didn't apologize. Tyler never responded to any of my messages. He blocked me on everything. But the story wasn't over. GoFundMe investigated and confirmed the fraud. They froze what little remained in the campaign account and began refund processes for donors. The police opened a criminal investigation. Jessica was charged with theft by deception and fraud. Tyler was named as an accessory. The local news picked up the story. Fake cancer scam raised $47,000 was the headline. Jessica's face was on the evening news. People who donated were furious. They started sharing the story everywhere. It went viral locally. Everyone knew what she'd done. 6 months later, Jessica pleaded guilty to avoid trial. She got 2 years of probation, community service, and was ordered to pay restitution. Restitution she'll never fully pay. She's broke now. The luxury lifestyle dried up the moment the money stopped flowing. Tyler? He lost his job when the story came out. His employer didn't want the association. Last I heard, he moved to another state, started over. We haven't spoken since. As for me, I'm slowly rebuilding. My savings are gone. My 401k is decimated. I'm in my mid-30s, starting over financially from almost nothing. But I'm alive. I'm healthy. And I learned something important about myself. I'm not as stupid as they thought I was. Yes, I was conned, manipulated, deceived by someone I loved and someone I trusted. But when I found out the truth, I didn't fall apart. I didn't rage. I didn't let them get away with it. I documented everything. I contacted the right people. I built a case, and I made sure the world knew what they did. That's not being a victim. That's being a survivor. Looking back, there were warning signs I missed. She never let me come to her chemotherapy appointments. She always had an excuse. Her doctor never called me directly. Everything was relayed through her. The medical bills were always handled by her. I never saw an itemized invoice from an actual hospital. She got better suspiciously fast when it was convenient, and worse when she needed something from me. These are the red flags I see now, that I was too blinded by love and worry to see then. So here's my question for you. Have you ever discovered that someone you trusted was living a double life? Have you been the victim of a scam by someone you loved? And if you could go back, what warning signs would you pay more attention to? Leave a comment with your story, because scammers rely on shame. They count on their victims being too embarrassed to speak up. The more we talk about these experiences, the harder it is for people like Jessica to find new victims. And if you're currently in a situation that feels off, If something doesn't add up, if you can't verify what someone's telling you, trust your instincts. Ask questions. Demand proof. Because the people who truly love you will never mind showing you the truth. Thank you for watching. Stay vigilant out there.